G'day, ZiggyD here today with my first ever Neverwinter MMO gameplay footage for you guys. In this particular video I just want to give you guys a rundown of my experiences in the first day, how I'm finding the gameplay so far, and maybe my future plans for covering the game and what sort of content I'll be able to bring to you guys over the next couple of days. So pretty much as with all MMOs, first day launch shenanigans, queues, lag, all that sort of stuff has been happening in spades, and many people have been encountering this. If you've been in the queues, you've probably even seen the queues jumping around. Apparently there's a display bug, and this part's my favourite, that changes, so, you know, say I'm positioned 7,000th in the queue, and then all of a sudden it jumps up to like 55,000. People have been on the forums making constant posts, and people have been on Reddit making constant posts about, you know, I thought a queue was supposed to go down, why am I going up, what's going on? It's just a display bug, but pretty funny stuff to read all of those things while I'm in the queue. So actually, the actual queue length for me, first day, I've been in about 3 different queues now. Once when I first logged in, once after the game crashed on me, and then I'm logging back in now after a short break. And queues have ranged from about 20 to 40 minutes for me, so not too bad. Like, I personally don't really find it much of an issue. It's something you come to expect on any major online game launch. And, you know, I just go read the forums or play another game for a while or do some video stuff or something like that. There's always plenty of other stuff you can do in the queue, but I can understand for some people how it gets a bit frustrating. So I started playing about 6 hours after the official open beta launch, and apparently there was a lot of lag earlier on than that. I have to say, when I was actually in the game, the queues were very long of course, but when I was actually in the game, perfect gameplay. I've experienced no lag whatsoever, and this is coming from Australia on Australian internet, so pretty impressive stuff. But now let's actually talk about the actual gameplay. So I started off by creating my first character, a female human trickster rogue, which I was inspired by the really badass opening sequence movie, where there's a cool female trickster rogue kicking ass against some undead creatures and things like that. And that sequence is awesome. There's a few copies of it on YouTube. If you don't have the game, if you don't want to download the game, I highly recommend going and checking that movie out. That's like some Blizzard sort of level of epicness in that movie there. So I'm pretty keen to see if there's any more like, you know, cinematic sequences in the future, because that was awesome. So inspired by that, I made my female human trickster, and also because there's like no real range classes. I usually go for the range classes, but I thought I'd go for the trickster, play like a bit of a stealthy crit based sort of build or something like that. So I jumped straight in, did the basic sort of tutorial missions. There's sort of like a little mini tutorial dungeon. It was all kind of, you know, general MMO fare. Combat straight away felt really fun to me. Probably talk about combat in a bit more depth later on, especially as I get a bit further with the character and unlock some more abilities and things like that. But overall, I have to say I'm really impressed with it. I've not played a ton of other MMOs, so I'm not really like addicted to the certain style of combat that a lot of other MMOs have. This real sort of floaty style. I did play Guild Wars, however, Guild Wars 2, and it's got this sort of really floaty where you can run around while firing. You know, I played range classes, and thinking back now, I actually hated that. I hated how floaty it felt, how combat felt like it didn't have much impact, and just like that you constantly have to be moving while you're attacking, and you have no other option but to do that. And it was actually pretty tiring. In this game, whenever you attack, you're rooted to the spot. There's no, as far as I know, there's no abilities that allow you to move while attacking. And, you know, coming from games like action RPGs, Path of Exile and that, where pretty much every time you attack with something, unless it's like a certain skill like Cyclone or something in Path of Exile, pretty much every attack requires you to be rooted to the spot to attack. And I'm used to that, and I actually find that really satisfying. And what that has allowed them to do in the combat for Neverwinter is allow it to have a lot more feeling, and make it feel like your characters are really, you know, actually stuck to the earth and actually having an impact on the enemies, the surrounding environment, and, you know, themselves as well. There's a much stronger connection there with the earth and your enemies, and it makes for a pretty fun sort of you know, experience to look at and to feel. And also, I think it adds a little bit more tactical depth. You have to make the decision, am I going to withdraw here or am I going to fight? And you have to sort of do your stutter step kiting and things like that. So far I'm finding that really satisfying. I know though that a lot of other MMO veterans, I'm not an MMO veteran myself, are complaining about the fact that you can't move and shoot, and it might be a deal breaker for some people, but so far myself I'm finding it really, really good. In terms of questing, it seems pretty much standard MMO fare. It's all very easy. There's this little tinkling line in front of you that you can follow, and the quests are all pretty much in the same area, and they're all just, you know, press F on this and press F on that and go kill these things and then press F and get your loot. Pretty standard MMO stuff. Satisfying enough, super easy. So far my leveling experience, I'm about level 10 now I think, has been very easy. So I like a little bit of difficulty in my sort of action-y RPG games, so hopefully that comes out in higher level dungeons. I'm sure it will, but for the most part leveling so far has been really easy. I've been reading on the forums and things like that. A lot of people have leveled within sort of 20 to 30 hours to max level, so I think the whole leveling experience is going to be pretty easy. Other than that, you know, it all seems pretty cool so far. Like, I'm running around, I'm seeing other people in my area. I think this is sort of like a starting area I'm in, and I believe there might be more starting areas depending on what I picked. What did I pick? The setting that's for Neverwinter Nights 1, the same town there. I picked that. So that's where I started off with my Trickster Rogue and everything like that. I did some stuff around there. I don't know if there's multiple different starting locations. I assume there is, but I haven't played any other classes. So let's talk a bit about content that I might be able to bring out for you guys. I was thinking, because, you know, a lot of people are interested in whether they, you know, would want to play this game or not, but don't really know. And I've actually had people asking me, you know, is it worth getting into the queues and downloading it and going through all that? And it is a lot of hassle if you're not really sure about the game. So I was thinking I might break down for you guys the different parts of the game and bring out a series of videos like, you know, here's an example and my thoughts on the combat system. I've already said a little bit about that, but I might do it in a bit more depth. Here's my example and thoughts on, you know, the questing or the world and the aesthetics and all that stuff. Bring out multiple different videos just to help you guys decide whether you want to get into the game. And then maybe I might do, you know, a couple guides and look at the classes in a bit more depth. You can make 2 classes on the basic account without buying extra slots, so I'll at least do that. And if I'm really enjoying the game after that, I might bring out you guys some more, like, you know, content on other classes and things like that. But so far, it's been fun. I'm kind of looking forward to playing it a bit more. I'm surprised at how fun it is, actually. I was kind of not expecting too much, but, you know, it could be pretty good. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.